going to paint these and the frame, the padlocks on the frame. So the same colours that I've used on here. And I'm going to get paint on that glove if I do that. Ooh, survived without spilling it on me. Okay. I'm just going to sort of do random patches. I've just been sorting out some clothes recently, and there's a few things to be thrown away, and they've got some good buttons on them, so I'm going to pull the buttons off before I throw them out. Some of them are old jeans that have got the metal buttons, which are great. I really like them. Alrighty, that'll do for that one. It's a long, slow process getting this done, but I'm getting there. Sip of tea. Yeah. I'm getting there towards the end. I think I've already said I need to do these still. I still need to paint them that yellow ochre colour, and do some. I made some more of those little cogs last night while I was watching a TV show. They take a long time to do. Touching that, my hand's a bit irritated because of the eczema. Try to just put the tiniest bit on so it's not overwhelming. Even that turquoise is probably a bit bright. Getting the tiniest bit on my brush, just so that it leaves a really light bit of the paint. Oh dear. Can hear the people who live across the road from us, the ones that put funny things in the tree. They have a little poodle, and generally there's one of the people there with the dog, and it's quiet, but you can tell when they both go out, because the dog barks pretty much the whole time they're gone, which is a bit sad. I can hear it, although it stopped at the moment. I can't tell if maybe someone's come home or it's just been distracted by something, and it'll start up again. A lot of dogs are like that, aren't they? They get anxiety when their people are away from the home. It's sad. Our boys don't have that problem. There's always somebody here, pretty much. It's not that often that we'll both go out, and our son's out as well, and there's no one here. So they're pretty spoiled. A lot of company. Sorry I'm not really chatty. I'm just feeling a bit tired today. Not sleeping that well because of my itching. And yeah, I'm just really quiet. Just thinking about things mostly. Nothing in particular, just random stuff that pops into my head. That happens a lot more as I get older. Be doing something like washing the dishes or whatever, and just this totally random memory will come into my head, and I'll just be thinking, where did that come from? So yeah, that's why I'm a bit quiet today, sorry. I know some of you really enjoy it when I chatter away. It gives you company while you're doing your own thing. And I enjoy videos like that too. Might have put a bit much on there. Rough enough. Put it on here. I've got a tiny bit on the brush at the moment. I've got some more. I don't think I picked anything up then. Oops. Pulled it back to the bare metal. That's not good. I figured out what, can't remember how long ago I said it, but there's been a bird that has been singing lately, and we don't know what sort of bird it is. We actually saw it this morning on our back fence. and it's a willy wagtail. Sounds so pretty. They're a black and white bird, and they're called willy wagtails because they wag their little tails, tail feathers back and forth. They very rarely sit still actually, they're always moving. Such sweet little birds, and their song is very pretty. My husband remarked that it's one type of bird we don't see in the bird bath. There's a lot of other birds come and use the bird bath, but they don't. They're only around during certain times of the year, though they're not always here. Only in a little bit in spring, and then again in autumn, which it is now. The sun's a bit noisy this morning. He's up and about when he normally would be sleeping, so he's got something on today, I'd say. I haven't spoken to him yet. Oops. Big blob there I didn't really want. Alright, I think that will do. I don't want to overdo it. Now, I'll probably need to do, I wanted to add some extra chain because these on their own are okay, but I'd like some extra bits as well, dangling with them. Which means I'll probably have to colour these as well. I think I cut a piece off actually, yeah. Be good to have a few bits, I think. So, that's a different chain again. So we'll cut these. Similar length. So it's the same old thing. My husband's defragging my computer, my desktop computer at the moment, because there's you know, with all the editing and moving files around, it gets a bit fragmented. So it needs to sort that all out, and then it should run more smoothly. And that takes a long time because I've got a lot on there and a lot of different video files. But so far my desktop, it's pretty old and still running on a, what is it, Windows XP I think. So yeah, old system, it's still coping alright. So my husband said one day it will crash, so we need to make sure everything's backed up properly and taken care of so I don't lose things I really want to keep. and we both keep saying we've got to do it, but we still haven't got around to doing it, which is a bit naughty really, because we'll end up regretting it badly if we don't sort it out. And I'll be the one that'll be upset the most, because I'll lose things that I really want to hang on to. I should do that with a bigger brush, get it done quicker. It's a bit silly mucking around with a tiny brush. There's some stuff stuck in the lid. It's starting to dry up a bit. Yeah, it's no good. Better use it from in the pot. And I got something stuck on there, a bit of hair or a bit of glue string probably. Get off. Didn't want to come off the tweezers then. Oops, I let go of it. Come on. Let's talk TV shows. I've been watching a bit of TV shows lately. I've been enjoying Chicago Fire. Does anyone else watch that? Chicago Fire. I also like Chicago PD and MD, but I haven't seen a lot of those. But I religiously watch Chicago Fire because I really like it. I've been watching it since the beginning. Got to know the characters really well. And yeah, it's just a good show all round. It's got a good balance of, you know, drama with the fires they attend and the training that they have to do. And it's got a good bit of, you know, the human interaction element, the emotional side of it, relationships and things like that. And I like how closely bonded they are as a team, and they all care about each other, and yeah, it's good. So I watched a bit of that last night. I also like watching Grimm, which is a I wouldn't say horror, but it's, or maybe some people might consider it to be horror. It's a bit of a creepy thing about people called Wesen that can turn into animals type creatures and commit murders, and there's a police officer who's actually a Grimm, which is a person who can fight the Wesen and stop them from killing, and yeah, it's pretty involved, but I really enjoy that one. And again, you know, you get to know the characters and you get to really like them, and yeah, I like a lot of different types of TV shows. I like a lot of murder mystery type shows. I like, what else? I like things like Game of Thrones. That's really good. Really complex. There's a lot going on in that show, and when I first started watching it, it was pretty hard to figure out who was who and what was what and what was going on. But once you get the hang of it, it's just riveting, you know, you're just hanging on the edge of your seat waiting to see what happens next. And yeah, it's good, really well acted. Particularly, I've forgotten his name. There's one particular actor I really like that just does a brilliant job. I'll have to look it up and see if I can remember his name, because it's pointless talking about him now because I wouldn't make any sense. Alright, I need to let that dry. Rub that off, and I'll be back after that's dry. Okay, they're dry now, so I'll keep going. And I looked up that actor, and his name is Peter Dinklage, and he plays the character Tyrion Lannister in Game of Thrones. And hang on, I just lost my glove. He speaks with an English accent, and gee, he does such a good job. And I didn't know this actor prior to Game of Thrones, and I was convinced that he was English because of the accent. And I was really surprised to find out that he's actually American, and to hear him speaking in interviews with an American accent just seemed really strange, because I was so used to his British accent. So yeah, he's a fantastic actor. Just really good, the way he delivers his lines, and just brilliant. Yeah, so he's actually probably my favourite in that particular TV show. I love it whenever there's a scene with him in it. I'm sort of glued to the screen watching him and listening to him. It's fascinating to listen to. And of course that's a lot to do with the way that it's written. And you know, it's the lines that he's been given, but yeah, a very clever character that can outsmart people with his wits rather than brute force. So yes, I enjoy that show very much. And it's actually just started back on now. I think it might be the 6th season. I could be wrong. Yeah. So I like that. I like a whole range of shows. I like shows that are set in a hospital, on medical things, like Grey's Anatomy. There's a British TV show I watch called One Born Every Minute, and I think there's an American version as well, which is about childbirth, which is fascinating to me, since I've had 3 children and gone through the childbirth procedure. And there's another one called The Midwife, which is set in the 50s and 60s, late 50s, early 60s. It's about midwives that used to go to the woman's home and help her give birth at home. Fantastically acted show, very well written. I love the narrator and the way that she talks, and the things that she says are just such beautiful pieces of writing, the way that it's worded. Yeah, fabulous show. Yeah, so that's what I like. Amongst a whole lot of other stuff as well. doesn't come to mind right at this minute. My husband records them for me and I save them up, and I tend to prefer, rather than watching them week to week, I prefer to have a collection of them, and I'll do what they call a marathon sitting or viewing, where I'll just watch a whole lot in a row. That's really good for those days when I'm not feeling well and I'm just lying on the couch. I just catch up on TV shows and have a good rest. There's another show that I really enjoyed that came to a sudden ending, unfortunately, and that was Deadwood, which was a brilliant show. That was set in, well, now, late 1800s, and that was about the town of Deadwood and how it got established and the characters that lived there, and again, such brilliant writing. And there was one character there, which of course I forget his name now, who spoke almost in a Shakespearean way, the way that it was written. Absolutely brilliant to listen to. So I've put far too much bronze on here. I really loved that show. There was a lot of swearing or cursing in that program, which might be quite disturbing to some people. But I didn't mind it so much. I got used to it and just, that's how it was. You just sort of learn to ignore that side of it rather than get upset by it. But yeah, really good show, and unfortunately they never finished it off. It just stopped at the end of one season, and then they never came back to follow up or finish off the end of the story, and just like, no, you can't do that, you've got to keep going. Come to a proper conclusion. You can't just kill it and that's it. Yeah, I love that show so much that I have watched it probably at least 4 times over, and every time I know that it's coming, that they're going to end it abruptly, but every time I still get upset. I haven't watched it for quite a few years now, and I'm sort of thinking I'd really like to see it again. And there's another one that I've watched many times over and thoroughly enjoyed, and was very sad when it ended, and that was 6 Feet Under. It was an absolutely, probably the best TV series I've ever seen. Absolutely fantastic acting, storyline, writing, everything. And it had characters in there that everyone could relate to. It had a young girl. It was about a family that live in a funeral home. The father is an undertaker, and it's basically about the life of the effect that it's had on the family growing up in the funeral home, and it's just their lives and personal interactions. And one of the sons also works in the funeral home alongside his father, and one of the other sons sort of ran away from it as soon as he could because he hated it. And yeah, a lot happens. I won't give it away in case you haven't seen it and you get an opportunity to see it. It's an old show. It was filmed in the 90s, I think. So, but if you can ever get an opportunity, I'd recommend it. Again, there's a fair bit of, well, not excessively, a bit of swearing in there and some things that happen that might disturb some people, but you know, it's not overly graphic or anything. Memory card was full. So I think I was talking about 6 Feet Under, just in saying that there's a character in there for everyone in terms of age group level, because it also covers the children who are young adults, and the mother plays a big part in it as well, which is more my generation. So yeah, really good show. So where am I up to? I was going to do a bit of this, or did I? I think I only did the brass, the bronze, and this, yeah. What I liked about 6 Feet Under was that it covered a lot of deaths, you know, the many different ways in which people can die, and some of that was funny, and a lot of it was, you know, serious and very thought-provoking. And also when they ended it, they rounded the story off completely, so there was no sort of wondering whatever, you know, would have happened to those characters afterwards. Yeah, brilliant show. Some of it was quite a little bit disturbing, a little bit psychologically I can't say not in a bad way. I mean that it would really make you think and give you an experience of certain aspects of life and death that you may not have considered before, you know. Yeah, fantastic show. Yeah, I still, you know, think about that a lot and kind of miss the characters. And that's why I go through phases where I want to go back and just watch it again and just enjoy that experience. Alright, I've gone a bit berserk on this. This chain. Let's just dab at it a bit. Try and tone it down. It's drying up fairly quickly. Of course, it's not as floppy anymore. That's alright. It will be fine. Might put a little bit more turquoise in that one. I also enjoy a lot of comedies. I like watching Mike and Molly, Modern Family, Mom. That one's a funny one. They're probably my three favourites. There are lots of others. New Girl. I'm stretching my memory now, trying to think. What do I actually like watching? Alright, I think that's enough. So, I might put them aside and start working on these thingies now, which I have quite a few. Sorry for the rustly plastic bag sound. Make sure I've got them all out. And I've got these little cogs. I thought I had more, but I can't find the others. Oh well. I shall find that yellow ochre paint and start with that first. I've got you zoomed in a fair bit, haven't I? I didn't put gesso on these. I thought it's not really much point, because if I did with the other stuff, when I put the watered down paint on, it just washed off anyway, so should be alright just doing it this way. Done. So now I'm just going to do a couple in front of you, and then I will do the rest off camera. So I'm just going to glue on these little cogs. I had wanted to put two together, but there's not enough space, so I'll just have one. Can't even see if I had glue on the brush. Hopefully that'll stick down alright. And then on the other one I'll just put a little one. sticking other little things on the backs of them, but I'm not really 100% sure now because I don't think I'll have enough for every single one. So I'll have to sit through all my stuff and see how many actual things I've got to use, and then I'll make a decision. Yeah, so I'll just do these two on the one side for now. My thin brush. And just doing the same thing. Just do it roughly, same thing, little patches of paint. So I'll keep working on these and I'll come back and show you rather than drag this procedure out anymore. Okay, I've done all of those now and they're all pretty much the same. And then I started adding things on the back, and I've just done little bits and pieces of metal and things that I had, buttons and staples, and I've just done those in with the black excuse me, and either some copper or bronze paint only. I didn't do the whole 3 colour thing. So that's the dividers. I just wanted them fairly simple. I wanted to keep that one as it is because I like that. And yeah, I'll start putting it together soon. I'm almost finished, which is good. You can see all that, hopefully. So the next thing I wanted to do is put something down here, and I've decided I'm going to use these little cogs that I made. So I'll glue some of those on there because I wanted to keep that flat so nothing sticks up and interferes with the envelopey things moving around. Just trying to find a brush. Right, so I've got Mod Podge and hoping you can see me. It's been a really horrible windy weather the last couple of days, and some of my plants in the garden tipped over, but thankfully hubby raced out there and saved them, tied them up again. And a couple of the plants are tree dahlias which Teresa gave me, and so I was really worried about losing them because they're about to flower. Got lots of flower heads on them, which is great because it's the first time since I've had them that they're going to flower for me. And oops, And I was just in the kitchen just now getting my coffee, and I noticed one of the flowers right up the top has opened partially, which is really exciting for me because I get to see what colour they are, and they're a mauve colour. So I'm really excited about that. I love them. They're looking pretty good so far, but it'll be even better when all of them have opened up and I can see what they look like in full bloom. And I'm glad the wind hasn't totally destroyed them. I've only got a few of these big ones, so I'll just put a smaller one on, sort of in the centre, up here. And I think that'll do. And I'll probably just add some either brass or copper paint to that, like I did on the backs of those dividers, rather than put all three of the colours on everything. So yeah, I'll be glad to have this project done, and I can start working on the cards that I want to keep in there. And I've already done a few, which I'll show you when I set it up. It's in the shadow. Yeah, and then I want to move on to other things. I know I'm definitely going to be doing some jelly plate playing, which I promised Josie for a while now that I'm going to do. And after that I'm not really sure. I've joined a swap which I'll have to get done, but I've got until the end of May to do that. And it's a fairly simple one, which is why I chose to do it, because I don't want to take anything too complex at the moment, because I'm trying to work through a list of things that I've wanted to do for a long time, and I thought if I don't actually get on and start doing them, I might never get them done because I'll keep, you know, doing other things instead. Once I've satisfied myself that I've done the things I want to do, probably not all of them, but at least a few anyway, then I'll start joining more swaps and getting back into doing different things. Alright, so, oops, let's put that in some water, and I'll get out the brass and copper paint. That not stuck down properly. Just have to press it pretty hard. Something else that happened today is I met my new volunteer who's going to visit me weekly, which was really nice. She came in for a chat and had a coffee, and I'm really happy because we got on really well. She's a really lovely person and we just really hit it off. So that's great, you know, that you have a matching sort of personality, which the coordinator tries to do, is to match people with similar interests and outlooks on life. Now, she's not into crafting, but she is interested in gardening, and she's more than happy to take me for a walk, which is great. And yeah, so she'll start coming to visit me once a week from next week. So So I'm looking forward to that because it means that I'll get a bit of activity, a bit of walking done, and just get out of the house for a bit. It's nice meeting new people. It should be a bit of a companion for me when hubby's away with his camera. So yeah, that's really good. I think on the other side I'll just do the copper. So I don't want to put too much on there, just a little bit. Also today my library lady came. She comes once a month to give me books and magazines. So that was nice. Have a little visit with her. She doesn't stay very long, but we have a sort of quick chat, and she supplied me with another month of books and magazines to read. She gets me some really nice art and craft books and magazines, so they're fun to flip through, and I don't really end up doing any of the stuff that's in them, but I love looking at them and just seeing different ideas, and it's just nice and relaxing. And I really appreciate that service. There. Okay, so I want to, probably the last thing is I want to spray just a little bit of gold, very fine spray of gold here and there. So I'll have to set my little spray bottle up, so I'll switch off and I'll come back in a sec. Alright, so I've just got some water and some metallic gold paint in a bottle with a little bead to shake it up. And I realised I didn't have these boards up, which help with the reflection of light, but also I want to protect my curtains because I put new curtains up and I don't want to be spraying paint on there. I've moved my Raven out of the way as well, and I've got this little box that I use to spray things in just to prevent it from going everywhere. So I'm just going to do this, if I can get it working. Oh dear, it's jammed up on me. That's alright. I should just swap it for a different one. Problem with this is with the metallic paint, if I don't wash it out as soon as I've used it, they seize up because they get blocked. That's alright. Just spray that a bit because it had some orange colour in it. I don't want orange on there. Alright, that's coming through clear gold. I just want a fine sparkle. Going a bit berserk. Right, that'll do. I'll quickly go and wash this tube out so I don't block it up. Alright, that's done. Just put this box down under the desk, and I don't know if the camera can pick that up or not. It's a little bit sparkly in some places. So then, just be careful because it's wet there. There's a paper towel. So let's stick my hand in it. So now I want to put these things on. Can you see, hopefully? I haven't gone out of view. So it's got these squiggly things that I did before. I'll put those on. So that they hang. Now the trick is to see if this is going to close. Yeah, it will. That's good. I was worried it might not close. Ouch, I touched that. This piece here is pretty cold. The others weren't too bad because I've got the heater on here. I wonder if I should have sprayed some gold on there. Maybe not. Right, so I now need to set this up with all the little sleevey things, which will take a while. So I'll switch the camera off and I'll come back and show you once I've done that. Okay, there it is. It's finished now. So I've got all the bits back in it. It's a bit hard to move it around. So another project finally finished. I'm reasonably happy with how it turned out. Yeah, so I will start putting cards in it, decorating them and putting them up. I've already got a couple that I've done. I've been making inchies lately, and so I've got a couple of cards and I've put some inchies on the cards, and I'm going to put those in here, and then gradually over the next whenever however long it takes me, I will fill this up with decorated cards. They won't always have inchies on them, but I thought it was a good way to display inchies, and even the, what's the other one, twinchies, 2 inches. Inchies are just 1 inch square little tiny piece of art. So that's my altered Rolodex, business card Rolodex. I hope you liked that, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Excuse me. And that's all for now. So I'll say ta-da. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye.